think one of the reasons why reggae and dub music has had such an influence outside of Jamaica, unlike, say, calypso and mento and musics like that, is that it's about Jamaica being such a big and populous island and having a kind of certain self-confidence that is the reason why in Jamaica they dismissively talk about small island people, because there's a kind of critical mass in Jamaica that's big enough to create an indigenous culture that's self-feeding. It produces something that's strong enough to radiate outwards. And I think I would even take it as far as saying I think it's likely that if there hadn't been Bob Marley, there would have been somebody else like him. You know, somebody had to fulfill that role of taking reggae outside of Jamaica. And it would have happened anyway because it's big enough and it forms a critical mass and it's strong enough to produce a surviving inward-looking culture. I think London was a fulcrum for the transition of white kids getting into reggae music, because I think that you need to have a situation where you have kids who are educated enough to be outward looking, whereas kids from Huddersfield, no disrespect to Huddersfield, but maybe kids from Huddersfield are more concerned with fitting in with their peers and not sticking out too much, whereas kids in London are confident enough, and you know, maybe those kids like Joe Strummer or Terry Hall or me are having just enough education to be able to say, if I get into this reggae music, that doesn't obliterate me, that it fulfills me, and makes me, you know, maybe even in a social sense, it makes me a more interesting person because I have this understanding that, you know, I know what black people are all about. And you know, I think also for my generation, we were coming out of the late 70s, we were coming out of a period where a lot of white people were just scared of black people, to a point where white people wanted to engage with black people and found the culture attractive. And the culture was undeniably attractive. We were seeing Rasta men walking around with massive hats on and looking like cartoon characters. It was really attractive. I'm not a musician, first and foremost. I'm a selector, DJ, first and foremost, and a producer, although I do play. And that was the way round that I went. I got into production because I wanted dub plates for our sound system. I wanted exclusive music for our sound system. And I literally remember sitting on my bed when I was about 18, figuring out how to record reggae music and thinking, well, they must do it like this.